Filipinos are often called America's invisible nation builders. They're not always in the headlines. But if you look closely at the hospitals, the schools, the military bases, and even the kitchens of America, you'll find Filipinos at the heart of it all. Their fingerprints are everywhere, quietly shaping the United States in ways most people don't even realize. The Filipino journey to America isn't new. Some came as early as the 1900s to work in Hawaii's plantations and California's farms. But the biggest wave arrived after the 1965 Immigration Act. That's when U.S. hospitals and schools opened their doors to Filipino nurses, teachers, and professionals. The U.S. Navy also became a major employer. It recruited thousands of Filipinos who built their lives around military service. These pathways laid the foundation for communities that now stretch across the country. What makes the Filipino presence so powerful isn't just numbers. It's the unique mix they bring. A culture built on faith, family, and resilience. A work ethic that's made them indispensable in healthcare, hospitality, and service industries. And of course, the vibrant food, music, and festivals that infuse American cities with color and warmth. In this video, we're taking a journey across 10 U.S. cities, where Filipinos haven't just settled, they've transformed the local economy. They've reshaped neighborhoods and built communities that thrive to this day. From the sunny streets of Los Angeles and San Diego, to the bustling heart of New York City and Jersey City, we'll uncover how Filipino immigrants helped make these places what they are today. Because to understand America's story, you can't ignore the Filipino chapter. City 1, Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is home to the largest Filipino community in the United States. More than 500,000 residents have left a lasting mark on the city. The beating heart of this community is historic Filipino Town. It's a neighborhood officially recognized in 2002. It celebrates over a century of Filipino presence in LA. Here, murals tell the stories of migration, sacrifice, and resilience. Local businesses keep the Filipino spirit alive. Filipinos are deeply woven into LA's economy. In healthcare, countless Filipino nurses and caregivers staff the city's hospitals. They are indispensable to the medical system. In entertainment, Filipino artists and creatives have made their way into Hollywood. They break barriers and showcase talent on a global stage. In small business, Filipino-owned shops, markets, and restaurants of the city. They provide jobs and introduce new generations of Angelenos to Filipino culture. One of the highlights of LA's Filipino identity is FPAC. The Festival of Philippine Arts and Culture is an annual event. It has grown into the largest Filipino cultural celebration in Southern California. Thousands gather for food, music, and performances that bring the homeland to life. Filipino cuisine has left its mark on LA's dining scene. From traditional dishes like adobo and lumpia, to modern fusion spots that blend Filipino flavors with Mexican or American classics. The food scene reflects the community's creativity and adaptability. In Los Angeles, Filipinos aren't just residents. They are culture shapers. City 2, San Diego, California. Just a few hours south of Los Angeles lies San Diego. It's another powerhouse Filipino city. What sets San Diego apart is its deep and historic connection to the U.S. Navy. For decades, Filipino sailors served aboard ships stationed here. Many chose to settle with their families in the area. This military legacy created one of the most tight-knit Filipino-American communities in the country. Neighborhoods like National City and Barrio Logan became Filipino hubs. They're filled with restaurants, markets, and community spaces. Families built their lives here. The military roots are still visible today. But San Diego's Filipino presence extends far beyond the Navy. Thousands of Filipinos work in healthcare, from hospitals to clinics. They form the backbone of the city's medical workforce. Faith also plays a central role. San Diego is home to vibrant Catholic parishes. They host fiestas, processions, and gatherings that blend Filipino traditions with American life. Community centers organize cultural events and support new immigrants. They connect younger generations to their heritage. San Diego's Filipinos have created a sense of home thousands of miles away from the Philippines. Whether in the pews of churches, the halls of hospitals, or the homes of military families, their impact is unmistakable. The city itself has grown and thrived in no small part because of its Filipino residents. City 3, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas might be known worldwide for lights, casinos, and entertainment. But behind the scenes, it is powered by thousands of hardworking Filipinos. The hospitality industry, from casino floors to hotels and restaurants, relies heavily on Filipino workers. They've made themselves indispensable to the city's nonstop service economy. But it's not just hospitality. Filipino nurses and healthcare workers fill the ranks of Las Vegas hospitals. They care for locals and tourists alike. Their dedication, especially during health crises, has been a lifeline for the city. Filipino entrepreneurs have also left their mark. Across Vegas, you'll find Filipino supermarkets, bakeries, and restaurants. They serve the local community and introduce the wider city to Filipino flavors. Culturally, Las Vegas has become a hub for Filipino entertainment. Major concerts and events often feature Filipino artists. Manny Pacquiao's legendary boxing matches transformed Vegas into a gathering point for Filipino pride. During those nights, the city's arenas turned into mini Manilas. They were filled with cheers in Tagalog and waving Philippine flags. Las Vegas is more than a tourist destination. It's a city where Filipinos have built careers, communities, and traditions. Their presence is woven into the very rhythm of the city. From the hospitals and hotels to the boxing ring and concert stage. City 4, Honolulu, Hawaii. If there's any U.S. city where the Filipino presence feels truly historic, it's Honolulu. Filipinos began arriving in Hawaii in the early 1900s. They were recruited to work on sugar and pineapple plantations. They endured long hours in harsh conditions. But over generations, they built roots so deep. Today, Filipinos make up nearly a quarter of Hawaii's population. In Honolulu, their impact is everywhere. Filipinos have risen into positions of power. Mayors, legislators, and other leaders of Filipino descent shape Hawaii's politics. Filipino leadership has become an inseparable part of Hawaii's identity. Culturally, the Filipino presence blends seamlessly into Hawaii's multicultural fabric. Food traditions like adobo, pancit, and lumpia are household staples across the islands. They're enjoyed by people of every background. Festivals celebrating Filipino heritage attract massive crowds. Church communities preserve traditions like Simbang Gabi. They connect faith with culture. What makes Honolulu unique is how Filipino culture isn't just an immigrant presence. It's part of the local identity. When you walk the streets of Honolulu, you don't just find Filipino neighborhoods. You find Filipino influence in everyday life, from politics to food to celebrations. More than anywhere else in America, Honolulu shows what happens when Filipino immigrants don't just settle. They become one of the pillars of society. City 5, San Francisco, California. San Francisco has long been a center of Filipino activism, labor, and culture. In the mid-20th century, Filipino leaders like Larry Leong played a vital role in labor movements. They organized farm workers alongside Cesar Chavez. They demanded fair wages and better working conditions. These struggles left a lasting legacy of resilience and political power. Today, Filipinos continue to shape San Francisco in multiple arenas. In tech and healthcare, thousands of Filipino professionals contribute to key industries. Politically, Filipino Americans serve in city government, community boards, and advocacy groups. They ensure their voices remain strong. San Francisco is also home to Soma Pilipinas. It's a designated cultural district that celebrates Filipino history and arts. This area hosts events, exhibitions, and performances. They highlight Filipino creativity and resilience. They turn the city into a showcase for Filipino heritage. Festivals and arts also thrive here. From cultural parades to music and dance performances, San Francisco offers platforms where Filipino Americans can celebrate identity. They inspire younger generations. Filipino cuisine has carved a place in the Bay Area's diverse dining scene. Restaurants offer everything from classic dishes to innovative fusion. San Francisco's Filipino community has always been about more than just survival. It has been about leadership, activism, and visibility. In this city, Filipinos haven't only contributed to the economy. They've shaped the fight for justice, culture, and recognition. City 6, New York City, New York. In the city that never sleeps, Filipinos have carved out their own home in the heart of Queens. The neighborhood of Woodside is famously known as Little Manila. It's filled with Filipino restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores. They transport visitors straight to the Philippines, from Jollibee to mom-and-pop eateries. This area is a hub of Filipino life in New York City. But the Filipino presence in New York isn't just about food and culture. It's about work and contribution. Thousands of Filipinos power the city's healthcare and service industries. They work as nurses, caregivers, and frontline staff in hospitals and nursing homes. Their dedication has earned them a reputation as essential workers. Filipinos have also found their way onto the stages of Broadway. Talented singers, dancers, and musicians of Filipino heritage light up world-famous theaters. They add to the diversity and vibrancy of New York's creative scene. Every June, the community comes together for the Philippine Independence Day Parade. It takes place on Madison Avenue. It's the largest Filipino celebration outside the Philippines, with floats, costumes, and music that showcase the culture's beauty and resilience. New York is all about ambition, diversity, and hustle. In each of these, Filipinos have found their place. They help shape one of the world's greatest cities. City 7, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago has been home to a thriving Filipino community since the 1960s. That's when waves of nurses and medical professionals arrived to fill critical shortages. Today, their legacy lives on in the city's medical community. Thousands of Filipino nurses, doctors, and caregivers continue to provide essential care. Hospitals across Chicago owe much of their success to these dedicated workers. Beyond healthcare, Filipinos have built strong communities in the suburbs. Places like Skokie and Niles are filled with Filipino families, churches, and businesses. They've created supportive enclaves. These neighborhoods host community gatherings, church festivals, and youth programs. They preserve Filipino traditions while helping the younger generation succeed. Food also plays a central role. Chicago is known for deep dish pizza and hot dogs. But Filipino restaurants and grocery stores have become essential to the city's food culture. From Halo Halo in the summer to hearty pancit dishes during family celebrations, Filipino cuisine has found a loyal following. Community organizations thrive here too. They promote education, leadership, and cultural pride among Filipino Americans. Through these groups, Filipinos in Chicago have built a voice for their community. They've ensured their impact is both recognized and celebrated. Chicago's strength lies in its diversity. Filipinos have been a crucial part of that story. City 8, Houston, Texas. In recent decades, Houston has become one of the fastest-growing Filipino cities in the South. Drawn by opportunity and affordability, Filipinos have made Houston home. They've built one of the most dynamic immigrant communities in the region. Two industries showcase Filipino impact: healthcare and oil and energy. Filipino nurses and medical workers staff many of Houston's hospitals and clinics. They are an irreplaceable part of the city's healthcare system. Meanwhile, engineers and professionals from the Philippines work in Houston's oil and energy sector. They bring technical expertise that helps fuel one of the world's energy capitals. Cultural and religious life thrives here as well. Filipino churches hold packed masses and celebrations, especially during Christmas and Holy Week. Community associations bring people together for festivals, charity events, and social support. They make Houston a welcoming place for longtime residents and new arrivals. Every year, Houston hosts its Philippine Independence Day Festival. It's a massive event that draws thousands. With music, food, and parades, it's a reminder of how deeply the Filipino spirit is woven into the city's cultural identity. Houston's Filipinos show the strength of community building. By combining professional excellence with cultural pride, they've turned this southern city into one of the most important Filipino hubs in America. City 9, Seattle, Washington. Seattle's Filipino community has deep historical roots. As early as the 1900s, Filipinos came to the Pacific Northwest. They worked in canneries and farms. Despite facing discrimination and hardship, they persevered. They organized workers and laid the foundation for future generations. Today, the Filipino presence in Seattle has grown far beyond labor. Many Filipinos now work in technology, education, and politics. They reflect the city's modern industries, from tech engineers in booming companies to teachers and public officials. Filipinos are shaping the city's future in new ways. Neighborhoods like Beacon Hill and South Seattle serve as cultural hubs. They're filled with community centers, Filipino-owned businesses, and churches. These spaces support immigrants and connect younger generations to their heritage. Seattle is also home to a thriving Filipino art and spoken word scene. From poetry slams to visual arts, Filipino voices have found platforms to share their stories and inspire others. This artistic energy keeps the culture alive and relevant in a rapidly changing city. Seattle's Filipino community embodies resilience and reinvention. From cannery workers to tech innovators, they've transformed not only their own lives, but also the city around them. City 10, New Jersey, Jersey City, and Bergenfield. On the East Coast, New Jersey stands out as one of the strongest Filipino centers in America. Jersey City is often called the Pinoy capital of the East Coast. It's home to tens of thousands of Filipinos. They've built vibrant neighborhoods filled with restaurants, markets, and cultural spaces. Nearby, Bergenfield has earned the nickname Little Manila. It's known for its dense Filipino population and thriving businesses. From grocery stores and bakeries to salons and restaurants, Bergenfield feels like a slice of the Philippines transplanted into suburban New Jersey. Healthcare is another field where Filipinos dominate. New Jersey's hospitals and nursing homes rely heavily on Filipino nurses. They make up one of the largest groups of medical professionals in the state. Their dedication has saved countless lives. They've shaped the healthcare system for decades. Cultural pride shines in the state's massive Filipino parades and festivals. Thousands gather to celebrate heritage with music, dance, and food. These events are not just about nostalgia. They're about visibility, showing that Filipinos are an essential part of New Jersey's story. From Jersey City's bustling streets to Bergenfield's family neighborhoods, Filipinos have turned New Jersey into one of the most important homes of Filipino life in America. Looking across these 10 cities, one thing becomes clear. Filipinos aren't just immigrants. They are city builders. From the historic plantations of Honolulu to the skyscrapers of New York, from the military bases of San Diego to the casinos of Las Vegas, Filipino communities have left their mark on America's landscape. In ways both visible and invisible, the common threads tie it all together. In healthcare, Filipinos are the backbone of hospitals, nursing homes, and clinics across the country. In hospitality and service industries, from hotels in Las Vegas to restaurants in New Jersey, their dedication keeps cities running. In the military, generations of Filipino sailors and families anchored themselves in American life. Through service and sacrifice, and beyond work, Filipinos have transformed American food, music, art, and culture. They've turned adobo, lumpia, and halo into familiar flavors. They've filled stages, parades, and festivals with color and joy. And yet, for all these contributions, Filipinos often remain invisible in mainstream media and political discussions. Unlike other immigrant groups that dominate headlines, the Filipino story tends to be quieter, woven into the everyday fabric of American life. But ask anyone in these 10 cities, and they'll tell you. Without Filipinos, their neighborhoods, hospitals, schools, and businesses wouldn't be the same. That's the real power of the Filipino community. It's not just about surviving in a new land. It's about building, improving, and enriching it. Every city in this list reflects that truth. Filipinos don't just adapt, they thrive. They bring faith, resilience, and joy. And in doing so, they reshape America itself. So when we talk about America's story, we can't leave out the Filipino chapter. It's a story of sacrifice and service, of food and faith, of culture and community. It's about generations who left their homeland but carried their values with them, and in the process, transformed the cities they touched. From Honolulu to New York, from LA to Jersey City, Filipinos haven't just found a home in America. They've helped build it.